Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome to this special episode of the Get Your Bell Rung Football Podcast. Our guy Kevin Reynolds is not with us today, so it'll just be me, Bobby Wall, flying solo. And today we are going to do a 12-team half-point PPR mock draft. Doing one today, so I figured, hey, why not put it on tape? And we're going to use the FantasyPros website. They have a draft simulator in their draft wizard that is pretty great and just about perfect for what we want to do today. It can just be you. You don't need 11 other guys or 11 other computer bots taking up time to do a mock draft. You just come in here, and the only person wasting time between picks is you, because all the other ones happen pretty immediately. And another thing I like about the Fantasy Pros Draft Wizard is that you can customize your mock draft to be basically how your whatever settings your home draft has. You can do it here. And for us, like I said, it's going to be 12 team. It's going to be half point PPR, snake draft, obviously. And the roster positions are going to be one quarterback, two running backs, two wide receivers, one tight end, two flexes, and one defense. If you know me and you listen to this show for more than 10 minutes, you know I'm not a big fan of kickers. So we've kicked them out. And I really like the two flexes because it allows a lot more flexibility with how you build your team, right? We can start our team. We can have four wide receivers starting any week or four running backs, 3 and 3, whatever you want. However you want to make your team up, having those two flex spots allows you to do that. And this is how my league of record is set up. So this is what we're going to roll with. They also have an option to randomize your draft selection. And so that's what we're going to do. I click randomize, and I am picking sixth. So I've said no idea how that was going to turn out. Go down, start our draft, and here we go. Right off the bat, number one, Jonathan Taylor. No surprises there. Austin Eckler went 2. Interesting. Christian McCaffrey went 3. Derrick Henry 4. Justin Jefferson, first wide receiver off the board at 5. And here I am picking at 6. And the fantasy draft or the Fantasy Pros Draft Wizard gives you suggestions. And that's what I'm going to use today. They suggest people with their ECR, their composite rankings from all kinds of different sites. They put them all together and they sort of spit back at you sort of what's going on. And rather than use my own rankings, because that would take forever, me looking at my rankings and comparing them and who I want, I'm just going to use their suggestions. And right now, overall, they're suggesting Dalvin Cook, Cooper Kupp, Najee Harris, Joe Mixon. Now, Joe Mixon is my running back 3 right now. So it's telling me his ADP is 10, but I don't really care about that because this is my guy. I'm taking Joe Mixon right here. And after him was Cooper Kupp, Najee Harris, Dalvin Cook went next. Jamar Chase, Stephon Diggs, and Davante Adams rounded out the first round. That's pretty standard, right? All those guys make sense there. We know I'm not a huge Chase guy. He's my wide receiver 5 or 6 right now. Diggs actually went after him, and I like Diggs more. Diggs is my wide receiver 3. Going to round 2, Travis Kelce was the first pick of the round, followed by DeAndre Swift, the guy I'm high on. Don't mind taking him at the end of the first. Then we have Javonte Williams, third pick of the second. Not bad. Nick Chubb, Aaron Jones, CD Lamb, and then I am on the clock. And it is offering me Leonard Fournette, Saquon Barkley, Mike Evans, or Mark Andrews. Definitely not taking the tight end here. Not a huge fan of these names I'm seeing. So if I look at just running backs, it's throwing out Saquon Barkley and Alvin Kamara. With Kamara's the uncertainty of whether he's going to get suspended or not real comfortable there. And then, you know what? I'm going to go Saquon Barkley here. Now, I'm going to gamble that Brian Dable is going to really help out that New York Giant offense and unleash Saquon. So we see more of rookie year Saquon rather than the Barkley we've seen lately. So I'll go ahead and take Saquon Barkley. After that, Josh Allen went pretty early in the second round, followed by Alvin Kamara. We were talking about Cam Akers at the end of the second, kind of early for him. Now, Mike Evans and Mark Andrews, last pick of round 2. Then we hop in round 3, Jalen Waddle, Leonard Fournette, Deebo Samuel, kind of a drop here, 3 or 3, I think. He's been going the second a lot, I've been seeing. Then we have Keenan Allen, Mr. Reliable, and Tyreek Hill. And here I am back on the clock. So far, I got Joe Mixon and Saquon. Don't really need to focus on the running back position here. And this is important to know your home league. So I know one thing in my league of record, There are certain guys, I know there's at least two or three guys that are going to take two or three tight ends. I know that they do it all the time. Same thing with quarterbacks. You have one guy will take Patrick Mahomes in the second round or Josh Allen in the second, and then in the seventh round or sixth round, they'll take Dak Prescott. It makes absolutely zero sense. I'm cool with it because I know what I'm looking for. Kind of the reason that helps me go running back early. I also know this league is heavy on running backs. Kind of we've been doing it for more than a decade, so kind of old school mentality thought process here. And I don't want to be left out in the wind. I'm not a big fan of the zero running back strategy. That sort of freaks me out. I don't like the way my teams look when I build them wide receiver early. And look, some teams are great. Some managers are great at that. For me, I like having a good stable running backs that I can rely on. And right now, my suggestions in the third round, right in the middle, is T. Higgins, AJ Brown, Kyle Pitts, and James Conner. I'm liking AJ Brown here in the second or in the middle of the third round. I don't mind him as my wide receiver one. I like him a little more. They have T. Higgins ahead of him, although T. Higgins ADP is one spot lower. I'm going to go ahead and grab AJ Brown here, just about where his ADP says he should go. Then we have James Conner, David Montgomery went, and Kyle Pitts right after him. I'm certainly not grabbing a tight end in the first three rounds. If Pitts falls to the fourth, maybe I'll think about it, but certainly not there. Breece Hall creeping up into the third round. He's been a fourth round guy, I think, mostly. T. Higgins, Zeke with the last pick of the third round. My, how the mighty have fallen. The RB, I think it was 6 last year. Unbelievable, falls to the end of the third round. Antonio Gibson, first pick of the fourth. I think that's actually kind of early for him where he's been going. DJ Moore, Michael Pittman, who I am very high on. Love that pick there. I'd take Pittman as high as the third round if it's me. Deontay Johnson, George Kittle, and Herbert goes sixth pick of the fourth. I find myself back up. I'm staring at suggestions of Terry McLaurin, Patrick Mahomes, Mike Williams, DK Metcalf. You guys know I'm liking at least one of those names. Let's see what else we have. No, we just got running backs. We have Etienne here. I am pretty high on Etienne. Josh Jacobs, not too worried about. So my two picks right now, I got to decide between Travis Etienne and Mike Williams. I like the depth of the wide receivers this year. And you know what? I'm going to gamble here a little bit and go with the upside of Travis Etienne. We're not sure what James Robinson's going to have whenever he comes back. I know he skipped the PUP, so technically he's ready to go. But I love the receiving upside of Etienne, especially he's got that relationship with Trevor Lawrence. I'm pretty sure Trevor Lawrence had the lowest average depth of target last year, lowest average yards per attempt. So he's dumping it off a lot. And why not dump it off to your college buddy Etienne? So here at the seventh pick of the fourth round, I am taking Travis Etienne, and I'm really hoping somehow Mike Williams will fall to me. We'll see. The next pick after me was Darren Waller, Terry McLaurin, Josh Jacobs went, and Mike Williams went right after Josh Jacobs, 11th pick of the fourth round. So that gamble did not pay off for me. I did not get my guy. Then we have Hollywood Brown, Elijah Mitchell, Brandon Cooks, Patrick Mahomes in the fifth round. A little bit of a drop there for him. Cortland Sutton, another guy I'm high on, and J.K. Dobbins. Back to me, and my suggestions are DK Metcalf, Allen Robinson, Lamar Jackson, and Amari Cooper. Now, I'm not too high on DK. It's tough when Drew Lock or Geno Smith is your quarterback. That being said, DK Metcalf is a monster, and he might be able to overcome some of the discrepancies that Locke has. So we'll see. And look, I'm getting DK here at pick 54 overall. That's almost a full round under his ADP of 44. So you know what? I'll take it here. DK will be my wide receiver 2. And I'm really going to have to hammer wide receivers after this. All right, my turn in the sixth after I took DK Metcalf. Damian Harris went from New England. DeAndre Hopkins from Arizona went in the fifth round. This dude is missing 6 games. That makes zero sense. Then Elijah Moore, Rashad Bateman, who I love. A.J. Dillon, Lamar Jackson finished up the fifth round. And then Amari Cooper, Allen Robinson, Joe Burrow, Chris Godwin, Michael Thomas, and Jerry Jeudy. Now, Michael Thomas just came off of the PUP list as of today or yesterday. It is Wednesday. So either Tuesday or Wednesday, Michael Thomas July 26th, 27th, popped off of the PUP list. So it'll be very interesting to see how he does in the preseason. And if he looks good, he's going to jump up these draft boards, I bet. All right. So now the suggestions, I got Kyler Murray, Darnell Mooney, Gabriel Davis, and Amon-Ra St. Brown. I'm in the middle of the 6th. I'm not looking at QB just yet. There's a guy I'm eyeing up in the next round. If he falls to me, Miles Sanders, I don't mind here. I'm higher on him than most. I do have AJ Brown, so I don't need. I think the Eagles' offense is going to be improved this year, but I don't need too many pieces of that. There is a guy I like a lot here, especially in PPR, half point PPR, and that's Amon-Ra St. Brown, and I'm going to take him right now. So Amon-Ra as my wide receiver 3 behind AJ Brown and DK Metcalf. I like that. I think he's going to be. I think he's a safer pick, right? I sort of gambled in the beginning, right? I got AJ Brown and DK Metcalf. Those guys can win me weeks, and they can blow up at any time. Amon-Ra is going to be more of a PPR hog, right? He's gonna scoop up those targets and those catches, and I like that. It gives me a little bit of safety, a little bit of stability on a roster where this is a swing for the fences kind of makeup I got going here. All right, so now I'm up in the 7th, but let's see who went after I took Amon-Ra. Then it was CEH, and then Jalen Hurts. He was the guy I was hoping would fall to me, but that is all right. Quarterbacks, you can get a ton of quarterback value late. Darnell Mooney, Juju Smith-Schuster, then Kyler Murray was the last pick of the 6th round. Round 7, we have Adam Thielen, Dallas Goedert, Hunter Renfrow, Rashad Penny, and Drake London. So that's who we have up to me, and now it is the middle of the 7th. No QB yet, no tight end yet, so let's see what's here. They're suggesting for me that I take a look at Dalton Schultz, Tom Brady, Gabe Davis, and Miles Sanders still out there. Let's take a look here. Tight ends still available are Schultz, TJ Hawkinson, and Zach Ertz. Schultz and Hawkinson I do like, but if there's both of them, I might gamble and see which one can fall to me. Not feeling look, all these folks out here super high on Gabe Davis. He's never had more than 35 catches in a season. I need to see a little more before I hop on that train. A lot of folks were hopping on it last year, and that train didn't even hardly leave the station. So I'm going to stick to my guns, and it's tough for me to pass up on Miles Sanders here in the 7th. He is the featured running back for Philly. He scored a whopping 0 touchdowns last year. He is definitely going to find the end zone this year. It's the odds. It's not going to happen 2 years in a row. And he's my running back 4. So I'm going to go ahead and hop on Miles Sanders here. It does expose me to a lot of Philadelphia Eagles, but that is okay. Again, I think their offense will be improved. Hopefully, Miles Sanders is part of that improvement. Gabe Davis went right after that pick. Then Robert Woods, Tyler Lockett, Brandon Ayuk, Dalton Schultz, and TJ Hawkinson back-to-back. So that gamble did not pay off for me at all. Looks like I'm going to be punting the position there. And again, I don't have a problem with that. Round 8 started with Davante Smith, Dak Prescott, Chase Edmonds, Tom Brady, Matt Stafford. Nice little QB run going here. And then Devin Singletary, and I am up with the 7th pick of the 8th round. My suggestions, I'm looking at Russell Wilson. I'm looking at Kareem Hunt, Tony Pollard, Christian Kirk. My tight ends, we got Zach Ertz is the best available, so I'm going to wait on that. No need to take him now. Treylon Burks is also out there still. I don't mind a gamble on Burks here. Apparently, he came back to training camp and looked good in the for his conditioning test. Passed that, no problem. And the coaching staff doesn't seem to be too worried about him. So you know what? Treylon Burks was my number 1 receiver coming out in the draft. And him hopping into Tennessee seemed like the perfect fit because he's a very A.J. Brown type player. So I already have A.J. Brown. Why not take his predecessor in Treylon Burks here? And he's my wide receiver 4. So I don't have to rely on him. And he can hang on my bench for a few weeks before I need him. So I'm going to go high upside pick with Treylon Burks. And I probably need to get a little, have a few more safety picks here as these late rounds go on. Right after him was Ken Walker, the 3rd, which I don't know if you picked up on it, but Rashad Penny already went. A lot of these drafts early on, Walker's been going before Penny, which doesn't make sense because everyone from Seattle's come out and said Penny's the guy. He's the starter. So as long as he stays healthy, he's the number one back. But I think everyone gets excited about the rookies, and they were taking Walker first. But this is how it should have panned out. Penny should go before Walker. Then we have Kareem Hunt. Man, towards the back end of the ninth pick of the 8th round, that's a solid spot for Kareem Hunt, who we've talked before on the show. He can perform with or without Chubb. So if Nick Chubb stays healthy, you still got a solid flex starter there in Kareem Hunt. Then Cordero Patterson, Russell Wilson went, Kadarius Toney. Then in the first pick of the 9th round, we have Tony Pollard, followed by Melvin Gordon, Michael Carter from the Jets, Christian Kirk, and James Cook. And I am up at the 906. Still no tight end for me, and still no quarterback for me. And I'm still probably going to ignore the positions. The draft wizard is telling me Zach Ertz, Aaron Rodgers, Trey Lance, and Allen Lazard are my best options here. But if I look at running backs, we have Rhamondre Stevenson still out there, and he can perform with or without Damian Harris. But if Damian Harris were to go down, Rhamondre Stevenson is a top 10, top 12 running back weekly for sure. I like that ceiling there. And he's also a safer pick because he is going to get weekly work. How much? Who knows? Bellatrix are the worst. And wide receivers, there's a few I wouldn't mind taking here. Allen Lazard, Russell Gage, even with the news that Tampa Bay signed Julio Jones and Chris Godwin, avoid the pup. Chris Olave still here. So I think I'm going to, again, go with the running back. It's sort of flip-flopping here between running backs and wide receivers. I'm going to go Rhamondre Stevenson because I like the upside here that if anything were to happen to the starter Damian Harris, where Stevenson automatically becomes an every week starter. Lazard went next, followed by Chase Claypool, then Darrell Henderson. Garrett Wilson, rookie wide receiver, went at the 10th pick of the 9th round. Alexander Madison and James Robinson finished out the 9th. Round 10 starts with Ronald Jones and Damian Pierce. A little gamble there on the rookie down in Houston taking the starting job. Kenny Galladay, Raheem Mostert, Marlon Mack, and Russell Gage. So it's back to me. The draft wizard is screaming that I need to take Zach Ertz here. And so what I'm going to do, I'm sitting here at the 7th pick of the 10th round. I'm going to look at the draft board and see the teams from now until I pick again. And I want to see every team has actually 2 teams do not have tight ends. And for me, the drop off after Zach Ertz, as far as tight end goes, is pretty deep. So here I am finally in the 10th round, going to make the jump to Ertz. I think he's going to be a target hog in that Arizona offense, especially the first 6 weeks while DeAndre Hopkins is out. Ertz isn't dead yet. And, if things play out the way I think they probably will, and he has a great first few weeks, maybe I can use him as a trade piece, and maybe I can bring in something for value, because when Hopkins comes back, there's no telling what's going to happen with his value there. Right after I took Ertz, Isaiah Spiller went with the 8th pick of the 10th round, then Pat Freiermuth, then Chris Olave, Nyheim Hines, Kenneth Gainwell. So now we're dipping into those backup running backs, maybe third down guys. Gainwell, we're not really sure of his role just yet. Rachaad White, first pick of the 11th. I like that. J.D. McKissick, more third down pass catching running backs. That's 4 in a row there. Then we have Rondale Moore, Cole Kmet, and Christian Watson, who is currently on the PUP in Green Bay. So not looking good for him. And I'm done for tight end now. I got Ertz. I will not be drafting a backup. I still need a quarterback. And the draft wizards throwing 2 of them at me still. Aaron Rodgers and Trey Lance. Because there are 2, I'm probably going to hold off. We'll see what else we have here. Running backs, I'm pretty set at running back here. And plus, I don't like the guys we're suggesting. Jamal Williams is nothing for me. Tyler Algier is a little exciting simply because he might end up being the starting running back in Atlanta, even as a rookie. You have Gus Edwards, Khalil Herbert, not interested in that. Wide receivers, nothing exciting for me here. Michael Gallup, Tyler Boyd is the 3rd wide receiver on his team, although he's probably the safest of the safety nets, if that makes sense, because he's going to get a little bit of work every week. He's not going to get you a 0. Then we have MVS, who I'm staying away from most of the Chiefs receivers except for Sky Moore if I can. And then Jacoby Myers is who they're suggesting. So, you know what? I actually don't like any of the running backs or receivers. So I'll jump on Aaron Rodgers here. Nope. I'll jump on Trey Lance here and the upside that he can bring. Everyone's saying that he could be this year's Jalen Hurts, and Jimmy G is out now. The Kyle Shanahan coaching staff, and they, our run with Jimmy G was great. I'm paraphrasing. He said something along those lines. So out with Jimmy G, in with Trey Lance, and his rushing upside is tremendous. MVS went right after my Trey Lance pick, then Michael Gallup, Jacoby Myers, Sky Moore, guy I just mentioned at 11-10, Gus Edwards, and the Buffalo defense, the first defense off the board. Now with the last pick of the 11th round. For me, defense is my last pick. I don't actually care. I'm going to stream them every week anyway, so not worried about that. Tyler Boyd goes first pick of the 12th, followed by Khalil Herbert, Dawson Knox, Sony Michel. Tampa Bay's defense, 1205, and Mike Gesicki at 1206. So right now, I'm being suggested Aaron Rodgers once again. Plus, we got Jarvis Landry, Davante Parker, and Hunter Henry. Not too excited about those guys. Right now, I'm sitting with 1, 2, 3, 4. I got 5 running backs. I really don't need another one. And receivers, I'm looking at 4. And my suggested receivers here are Jarvis Landry, Davante Parker, Tim Patrick, and DJ Chark. And I'll tell you what, I don't mind going Tim Patrick here simply because it's not how I feel about Tim Patrick. It's really how the Broncos feel about Tim Patrick and how I feel about Jerry Jeudy. I don't know why everyone just assumes Jerry Jeudy is going to be the wide receiver 2 in this offense. Tim Patrick's making $11 million this year. The Broncos gave him a lot of money, and he's big. He's 6'3", way bigger than Jerry Jeudy. He's built in like the Cortland Sutton mold, who is definitely the wide receiver 1. So I'm going to go Tim Patrick here simply because there is an opportunity for him to end up being the wide receiver 2 in Denver rather than everyone's pick of Jerry Jeudy. So I'm going Tim Patrick here. After that, Tyler Algier, Jarvis Landry, Irv Smith, tight end from Minnesota. Aaron Rodgers finally went at the 11th pick of the 12th round. Then Jahan Dotson, I love that pick there. A lot of upside with him. Jamal Williams, and then Darrell Williams from Arizona. Sorry, there's Damian Williams and Darrell Williams. But he went then Deontay Foreman, Mark Ingram, and Jameson Williams, the other Jay Williams from Detroit, just went 1 pick before me. I actually wouldn't have minded taking a gamble on him there in the 13th. And we only have 3 picks left. One of them is going to be defense. So I only have 2 left for me. And I'm looking at, they say Derek Carr, Brian Robinson Jr. I don't hate that idea here. Again, I don't need a running back, but the Commanders do not like Antonio Gibson. For whatever reason, they just don't want to give him the ball. I'll wait on running back again. I have a bunch. I'm going to go Davante Parker here. I can roll the dice on him in the middle of the 13th round. Come on, that is almost 0 draft compensation here for him. His ADP is 150. I'm taking him at 150. And who knows? Maybe this guy, he's shown flashes before, and maybe Mac Jones can make Davante Parker the guy in New England. So grabbing him. I got 1 pick left before I choose my defense. But after my Parker pick, we have Chuba Hubbard, Trey Sermon. Poor fella. I think I looked, and he was drafted in the 5th round of my league of record last year. And man, he's going in the 13th round, and he doesn't get drafted in all drafts. So what a drop for that guy. Kenyon Drake, then Brian Robinson, Derek Carr, Tyrion Davis-Price goes with the last pick of the 13th round, Zamir White. So that player went back-to-back rookie running backs. Hunter Henry, James White, Justin Fields, Jerick McKinnon, Boston Scott. I am here in the 14th, and I am being suggested Kirk Cousins. He's my guy. And you know what? Let's say that Jimmy G does not get traded, and let's say that he ends up healthy and Trey Lance doesn't look good in the preseason. It's not what I think is going to happen, but there is an opportunity for that to be the case. And if that is, I don't want to be caught with my pants down. So I don't normally take two quarterbacks, but I love Kirk Cousins this year. He's in my top 12 for sure. I'm pretty sure he's in my top 10 of QBs. Actually, I'll look right now. And I have Kirk Cousins as QB 12. So he just made it. So I'm going to take him here. And after Kirk Cousins went, it was Keontae Ingram, rookie running back for Arizona, Ryan Tannehill, the Dallas defense, DJ Chark, Tua went to finish out the 14th round. And then now it's just a bunch of defenses. San Francisco, Denver, David Njoku hopped in here. The Chargers defense, the Patriots defense. My turn for a defense. They're telling me I need to take the Colts. And as I'm looking here, I got the Colts, the Saints, the Rams, the Dolphins. The Rams excite me a little more. I love Aaron Donald, and they brought in Bobby Wagner. So I'm going to go against what the draft wizard tells me. I'm going to take the Rams here. Their division doesn't scare me either with Seattle in there. And when you get done, another cool thing is that the draft wizard gives you a grade. I got a B+ on this one, 87 out of 100. And you look at some Fantasy Pros experts, and they give you 5 of them. Derek Brown gave me an A+, 97 out of 100. That's not surprising. Derek Brown, his rankings are very similar to mine as I listen to their podcast, each one they put out. So him and I are usually pretty in sync with who we draft. Andrew Erickson gave me a 94. Pat Fitzmaurice gave me a 90. Matthew Friedman gave me 94. And Joe Pisapia did not think my draft was worthy of an A and gave me an 89. So a B+ from him. But again, this was the Fantasy Pros Draft Wizard. It's my favorite one out there. It's so quick. It's so easy. And hope you all enjoyed this little extra special episode of the Get Your Bell Rung Football Podcast. Be sure to check it out. Be sure it's on YouTube and Facebook, Spotify, all that good stuff. Like it, subscribe, follow, do whatever you need to do, and have a great day. Hopefully, this was a nice little afternoon trip for me. Maybe we'll do it again. But thanks a lot, and have a good one.